This is the voice of the Report of the Week, signing on. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone listening and watching. This is the Report of the Week here, and this is VORW, the voice of the Report of the Week. And this is my voice, the true voice of the Report of the Week. So we're here on another day and another show. It's Saturday, September the 20th, 2014. It is now 5:53 p.m. Eastern Time. I've been up for a little while, a few hours. So long enough to, get all the excess grogginess right out of your system. So, I've been up for at least a few hours. Enough, I figured, to do a show and get all that done. Get all that taken care of. But, so here we are. Here we sit. I'm here at the computer, now getting up. Walking over to the thermometer. It's a 71-degree day today. 71-degree evening. Roughly 22 Celsius outside. Very comfortable. Room temperature. Cloudless skies again. So, an absolutely beautiful day. Beautiful day. Once again, just like the last time, a bit cool. Like before I retire in the mornings, and it's warmed up a little bit by the afternoon. Thankfully, though, no more, 90-degree days. That's roughly about 30 Celsius. So, no more of that, thankfully. So, I'm comfortable. Actually, I had to put on slippers before I fell asleep, today. I was a bit cold. I was a bit chilly. So, now I can comfortably lay down and fall asleep with a good deal of blankies. Yes. Oh, we got big news in Report of the Week world. Oh boy, is it something with the channel? No, it's something that probably nobody cares about, and nothing that you'll ever see, but something to talk about nonetheless. We got a new couch. In my television room, we have two sofas, right? And one of them wasn't in the best shape, alright? The couches aren't, they're not, new. They've been around for a very, very long time. Since I was a little guy. And when I was younger, now, by younger, I mean like 4 or 5 years old, I used to enjoy jumping on the couches, right? The couches, right? And apparently that weakened one of the springs on one of the couches, so about a decade later, one of the springs on one of the seats or something dislocated or gave way or something. So there was this pit, right? This big indent on one of the couch cushions. So we said that will be no more. So we got a new couch, brand spanking new. It was delivered yesterday. Now the old couch is out there on the curb for anyone to take it. We also have a little table that's out there as well. I was kind of thinking I should mess with people. Should go out there and sit on the couch and have my radio on the table and just set up camp there for like an hour on the curb. But, I don't have the cojones to do that. But, so we got a new couch now. It's sitting here. I'm going to sit on it right now. Very comfortable. Looks just like the old one, but it's new. It's a comfortable sofa. So that's why I slept today. Crashed on it. I was able to fall asleep immediately. And I stayed asleep and got, let's see, a solid 8 hours sleep out of it. So that's good enough. Good enough for me. And, it sufficed. But, what was I saying? Yeah, I went with two heavy blankets. Heavier blankets. Doesn't get down to freezing yet, but the temperature's still dropping at night, and eventually it will. But for now, it still gets chilly at night. I don't think it's cold enough where you would die if you were not adequately prepared. But it still gets a little cold. Regardless, though, that's just how it goes. It's just the cycle of temperatures, and there's nothing that can be done about that. It gets cold, it gets colder, it gets very cold, it gets ungodly cold, then you get used to the cold, and then, then it gets warmer, hot, ungodly hot, and then you want it to get warm again, except it gets colder. So that is the grand procession of the temperatures. Hope that made at least a little sense. I hope. Did it? Did it make at least a little bit of sense? Oh, I hope it did. I'll pretend it did, alright? We'll pretend. So, I got my meal for the day. I did. I decided to give Pizza Hut, the House of Pizza, another try. Okay. I tried to do that. Because remember, the last time, I went to Pizza Hut, right? I asked for the new bacon and cheese stuffed crust pizza, okay? They said they didn't have it, right? Even though it was advertised on television, the internet, not on shortwave radio, but pretty much everywhere else, they didn't have it. So I had to go with another type of pizza. So we took a break from them last week, went to Domino's, and I think I feasted on a, if I do recall correctly, a pan pizza of theirs. But this week I was optimistic, and I decided to give them another shot. So I called them up after I rose, and I asked, I said, "Excuse me, sir, do you have that bacon and cheese stuffed crust pizza?" And they did. So we got that. Got that with an order of hot wings. Hot wings, baby. That's actually what I said in the review. I forget I forget where that line came from. It was some sort of music video, I think. Some sort of rap song or something. Where at the beginning, the guy's at this fast food restaurant, and he says, "I want some hot wings. Some hot wings, baby." And, I don't know, I was just, that line came to mind when I was doing the review, so that's what I called it. Hot wings. But, yeah, we got it with hot wings. Well, actually, it was boneless medium wings, but, you know, same thing. And, order breadsticks. So, we did a review today. We did, in fact, do a review. About 10 minutes in length, total. So we tried the pizza out. I had a little bone to pick with the wings. And I'll tell you that right now. And, you know, we did the review, and, came about to be about, 10 minutes in length. And I'm uploading that later tonight at, maybe the stroke of midnight. Maybe an hour or two before. Sometime, so you're going to be getting, you'll double up, right? I don't think it'll be the end of the world if you get a review 2 nights in a row. I don't think you'll complain all that much. So, I'll upload that video right tonight. So, you're going to be getting some very, very recent content from me. I'll be wearing the same exact suit that I was wearing today because it was filmed the exact same day it was uploaded. So, you'll get to see recent Report of the Week, who hopefully looks no worse or no better than I did in my other videos, which are about a week or two old. But, so that's that. But, we tried the pizza and it was satisfactory. Though the side dishes, I don't know. I don't know, people. The side dishes could have used a little bit of work. Definitely not my money's worth. Okay. Now, the wings, I got boneless, boneless medium wings. I'm always a big fan of the boneless wings. Most of the time I go with boneless wings because if, and only if, they are the same price as the bone-in wings, you gotta think of it this way. You're getting more meat, right? More food overall for the same price. So that's one reason why I like to go, with the boneless wings. Kind of like to stick it to the man, right? Show big business who's boss. Right? You feel me? I feel you, Report of the Week. Excellent. So, we got the wings, right? I looked at them before the review. And I literally almost died. Right there, right now. I almost had a heart attack and just dropped on the floor and died right then and there. What I saw almost made me... I don't know. It almost made me just jump out the window right then and there and just say, you know what? I'm done. I'm through with this. What I saw disgusted me. I ordered I asked for one order of boneless medium wings with the medium sauce on them. Right? Simple order. You slather on the hot sauce as you would a perfume or a gentleman's cologne. Slather that up. The sauce is the most critical part of the wing. Aside from the chicken, of course. But, chicken is chicken. The sauce is what makes the wing unique, right? So the sauce is the most unique component of the chicken wing. And mind you, if there is no sauce, right, what's the point? So hopefully you know what I'm insinuating right here, right now. So what happens is I open up the box. My goodness, you know what is there? You know what's there? An order of wings, right? And you know what's staring me at the face? Completely bare, uncoated wings. Alright, well, they weren't completely absent of the sauce, but all of them almost had no sauce on them. Completely dry, right? There was just a tiny little bit of sauce on a certain part of a certain side of, every other wing, pretty much. But for the most part, there was no sauce on them. So, that kind of killed them, the mood right there. When you expect to get wings, you expect there to be sauce on them, not, dry and no sauce. So, I don't know. That was a bit of a downer right there. But I mentioned that in the review, but at the very end, because I refused to let that influence my review of the pizza in any way, shape, or form. So did that. Talked about that. And then later, I tried the breadsticks. Okay. Now, this one, if you haven't had Pizza Hut, it's you may not get, what I'm trying to say. But if you've had Pizza Hut, especially if you've had Pizza Hut recently, you know exactly what I'm saying here, okay? And also, if not, you could follow this along on Google Images, right? On the more recent pizzas of Pizza Hut, okay? Most recently, the Cheesy Bites pizza, the hand-tossed pizza, and now, of course, the, bacon and cheese stuffed crust pizza. They like to put this little garlic seasoning on the crust, okay? Like to put this little, maybe you've had the pizzas recently, maybe you haven't, but if you have, you know what I'm talking about. There's this little, garlic, almost like this garlic powder, right, on the crust. Now, some have said otherwise, but I know for a fact that is not the same garlic seasoning that they apply to the breadsticks. Alright, it's not. Totally different. Well, apparently the guy at the Pizza Hut, listen, maybe he was new, maybe he wasn't. I don't know. I'm not gonna blame this on him, okay? I can't. Everyone has mistakes. Everyone has bad days. I can't blame him. So, it's nobody's fault. But the person apparently used the garlic seasoning that they use on the crust of the pizza on the breadsticks as well. I hear an ice cream man. Just gonna briefly change topics here. Whenever I hear an ice cream truck going by, I don't know why he's serving ice. Well, I guess it's still warm enough to serve an ice cream cone or something. But whenever I hear an ice cream truck driving by, if the little jingle or that little tune that they play at the beginning, and once again, some of you wouldn't get this, some of you might. But, I don't know, whenever I hear that, I always think of a numbers station starting up, because a lot of the old ones from the 80s used to use a type of tune like that, but I don't know. That's what I always think of. I always think of a numbers station on Shortwave when I hear that little tune from the ice cream truck, but anyway. Forget what I said there. If you know what I'm talking about, good. If you don't, I wasted about 30 seconds. Anyway, where was I? Now, with these breadsticks, alright, listen, I might sound picky, You might say, yeah, so what, So what? He used the garlic seasoning, for the crust on the breadsticks. What's the big deal? Big effing whoop, right? Garlic is garlic. What kind of difference does it make, really, right? Who cares? You're overreacting just like you always do with everything else. Come on, toughen up. Supposed to be a food reviewer, right? Well, yeah, I am. Sometimes, you gotta notice every little thing. But here's the problem, okay? When the garlic seasoning is used on the crust of the pizza, think about the quantity that's used, okay? Think about the quantity that's used. Very, very small amounts on a small surface area. That's usually blended in with this, thick dough and, the stuffing of the crust. Usually it's like a stuffed crust type thing. It goes with the cheese, right? Well, here, this guy just slathers on, a ton of this seasoning, the wrong seasoning for the pizza crust, slathers on, a ton of this stuff on the breadsticks. And I didn't notice that at first, but then I take a bite. Oh, my goodness. I don't know. I know I knew something was off right off the bat because it didn't taste like the regular seasoning. It had this very powdery type taste, and it actually burnt a little bit. Had this burning sensation, like it was that, strong in that quantity. And, I don't know. So, that kind of, I ate all the breadsticks and I ate all the wings, but, both sides, they were kind of ruined. They ruined everything! Right? No, they didn't. They didn't. It's edible. I eat it. I ate it. I didn't say I hate it. I ate it. And, that was that. That was that. So it's 16 minutes. I guess you could consider this a lecture, because it kind of is. But if you don't know me well enough, you'll know me a little better right now. There are very few things in life nowadays, and I don't mean to say this in, a negative tone or to be negative or what have you. But there are very few things, left in this world that I find solace in, okay? Very few things. One of them is shortwave radio, right? That is my passion. Something I listen to, for hours and hours every single day. It's something that I enjoy very much. Another thing is spending time with friends and family. It's self-explanatory, that one. Another one is, clothing, dressing well, looking at suits, being able to put them on, looking at different styles and what have you. I like doing that. And finally, I also find solace in a good meal. And that's just something that I may look like a living skeleton, right? I very well may, I don't care. You could call me whatever, you could call me every name in the book. I don't care. But even though I may look like a skeleton, I like to eat. And I like to eat a good meal. You may think, oh, if you like eating so much, how are you not 500 pounds? Well, good metabolism, and also I pretty much only eat a big meal every now and then. It's not like I eat, whatever, 10 burgers from Five Guys or 20 pizzas from, Pizza Hut every day or something. And even that's a complete exaggeration, of course. So... And likewise, I walk pretty much almost, I remember I actually calculated it out, I almost walk 3 miles every single night. So that also helps out, too. And also they said, if you're in motion, it helps you from from being depressed. So that's another little benefit from my walks. But, I like food, and I like good food. Heck, if I didn't like food, why would I review it, in fact? So, of course, I have, very, very high regards, to food. I like it a lot. So, it's something I speak about passionately, and something I could speak about for a good while. So, when it comes to food, and, especially the imperfections thereof, I'll definitely go off, and I'll take my time, and I'll BS like I am right now before we do anything. And, that's that. So, a little unusual of the VORW shows to do this and just to go off on like a complete and total lecture right off the bat. I didn't anticipate to do this. I actually expected to only talk about the food for about, like 2 minutes. And instead, we're here for almost 20 minutes talking about it. But, hope you know, it was from the heart and completely improvised. So I was just speaking my mind and just telling it as it is. So I didn't anticipate to do a lecture, but I did. So I hope you enjoyed it. Got a little freebie from me. I just expected to talk about the chicken for about a minute and then say, how was your day? Start reading the fan mail. And I didn't know what I was going to talk about for the latter part of the show, but there we go. So, yeah, review-wise this week, I'm going to try and clear out a few frozen pizzas. We have enough, okay? We have enough here in the freezer that we actually didn't have to get any more today. So these will probably last me for a while. I may very well do another review tonight. But now I gotta pick. Should I review a frozen pizza tonight? Depends on how hungry I am. Or an energy drink, you know. I actually reviewed an energy drink yesterday. I reviewed another grenade one. So that'll be up when it gets up. But we'll see. Anyway, in our stock room, aka the fridge or the freezer, we have a DiGiorno pizza and breadsticks pepperoni pizza we got to review. We still got a Tombstone pizza. We have a DiGiorno designer pizza kit. And I think it's just that 3 right there. I think it's the 3 amigos. But there'll be many more to come. Likewise, also, we have M&M's to review now. Yeah, we got another thing to review now. We have M&M's white chocolate candy corn flavor. So, especially, you know, if the Halloween season, you know, speeding towards us on a crash course, no doubt we got to review that. So hopefully you'll see me, you know, review those our favorite little chocolates one day soon. 6:14 p.m. Where did the time go? I wish I could tell you. I really wish I could tell you where the time went, because I don't know. I really don't know. Just seemed like about, you know, a couple hours ago when I was sitting here the other day, 2 days ago, giving a VORW show, and now here we are in the future, giving another show. If only we could find the secrets of time travel and all our problems would be diminished. But until then, we must continue going forward. And that we will. 22 minutes into the show. Feeling alright today. Would you be surprised? I don't think you really would, but would you be surprised at all if I told you right before I actually started recording I was feeling a bit down? But then I started, you know, talking about the wings, and I'm feeling better. Isn't that kind of funny? To each his own, right? To each his own. On Reddit, there's the official report of the week fan art thread by our moderator. We decided to give it a shot. So if you have any fan art and you're on Reddit, feel free to post it here if you want the public to see it. Otherwise, feel free to, once again, in the traditional manner, you know, send it to me via YouTube mail. Orca Man, you know who that is, sent us a rather odd drawing of myself standing there with my head with an abnormally large neck, twisting and turning and looking to and fro, going over this wall, which on one side says Sporks, and the other side says Planned Parenthood, and around it seems to be this barbed wire cage. There's a can of Monster Energy, and there's a little thought bubble from my head, and it says soon. So take that as you wish. And I was a bit puzzled by it. I said, I dare say, what is the story behind this unique work of art? We have yet to get an official response, so our experts can only speculate. So there it is. I'm not going to say I'm going to post this in the show, because in the past I have said, you know, oh yeah, I'm gonna post this in the VORW show, and then I forget about it, and I never do, and I feel terrible afterwards. I feel, you know, like I really disrespected the person, you know, by giving them my word and not doing that. So I might feature it, I might not. But either way, feel free to check out the subreddit if you want to see his work. And first post in the thread, Orcaman11. The submitter's name being. I think he's also an acclaimed author. I think he just came out with a new book available on Amazon. But I don't have the money to buy it after I just bought a new suit. Well then. Let's keep this going. Well, we're gonna give this one, and if I already read it, I read it. If I didn't, I didn't. But here goes nothing. Well, are you a Mets or a Yankees fan? Or are you a Jets, Giants, or a Bills fan? A Yankee fan and a Giant fan. Also, me and a friend who are moving in together at college both love your videos. I was just wondering if you could give an official and formal shout out to Falcon Duncan. Yes, that is his real name. Of course, I'd like to give an official Report of the Week shout out and a very formal shout out to Falcon Duncan. Hope you're doing well, and I hope you enjoyed the shout out. Just wanted to say, keep up the good work. You keep me going day in and day out, and I hope you realize that despite all the brain dead trolls out there are those of us that love you for indescribable reason and can't stop watching your videos. You make so many people happy, and I hope you're proud of that fact. Regards, Nick. Well, thank you for writing, Nick. I would like to challenge you to a game of 8-ball pool online. Let me know the time, place, and I'm there. And then give me his username. And I'll give my username for miniclip 8-ball pool, and just hit me up if you ever want to play me. Just send me a message here, and I'll gladly do it. I'm not saying I'm the best pool player of all time, because I'm not. I'm average, but I've played a good amount of games. I've played about, like 2,100 games of pool or something like that. So I mean, a good amount. My username for 8-ball pool, and this is one word, on miniclip. You could add me if you want, I guess. Or just see if I'm online every now and then. Is Rep Week Reviewer. That's REPWEEK REVIEWER. Rep Week Reviewer. REPWEEK REVIEWER. Rep Week Reviewer. So you could find me on a miniclip 8-ball pool. That's my username there. You ever see me online, feel free to add me and challenge me to a game or two, and I'll gladly go up against you, and may the best pool player win. Maybe you'll get to see how bad I am sometimes. You'll get to see me, pop the 8-ball on my second shot or something, and you'll automatically win. Sometimes that has happened. Sometimes I'll win, sometimes I'll lose. But I'll definitely send you personally, the person who wrote me this, a message. Coordinate something, because I'd love to play him, and see how that goes. Dear Report of the Week, you don't have to answer this question if you don't want to. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't answer that one. But to give you an answer, well, I can't do that on the air. Hey, man. Hey, thank you for your report. Okay, scrolling up. That was a reception report. Hey, review, brah. I don't want this to sound creepy, but what do you wear to sleep? I just imagine you're sleeping in a full suit and tie. I'm hoping you can get that image out of my head, because I can't stop laughing. Yeah, I understand. When I think of people in real life who only wear, a suit and tie, you just picture them in any circumstance, wearing a suit and they look really odd, not wearing one. Do you wear pajamas? What's your birthday suit? Oh, goodness. What do you wear? Well, when I retire for the night, here's what I normally wear. I do not wear a suit. Would you believe this, though? There actually is something out there, there's a product on the market called Suit Jammers. I think that's based off the television show, and don't take my word for it. I think it's based off the television show How I Met Your Mother. Because that one character on it, the guy, I think was like Barney or something, always wore the suit and ties, just like me, but he was a player, and apparently it was something in the show that it's called Suit Jammers, but it actually became a real product. So it's like this, like silk or some sort of fine material, where it's an actual suit and tie, but it's comfortable enough where you actually wear it to sleep. I thought that was kind of cool, but more of a novelty item than anything else. But what do I wear when I retire for the night? Depending on the temperature at night, I'll either wear a white, t-shirt, or just like a white, what's the name of those shirts? The ones that you see all those homies in the hood wearing. Looks like a tank top, but it's a lot thinner. You know what I'm talking about. Let me see the name. I don't want to give a wrong name here and sound like an idiot here. Let me just fact check something here. Yeah. Or sometimes in warmer weather I'll wear a wife beater shirt. And coupled with that, usually I have about, I think, 5 pairs of comfortable men's sleeping pants in either dark blue or black in color. I used to have gray pinstripe ones, but I found them to be a bit too scratchy, so I don't wear those anymore. But sometimes, I don't know, when I wear the dark blue ones, I feel like that one guy on that television show I used to watch. I think what was his name? He was on this show called Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I feel like I looked just like that guy, whatever his name was. The hairy guy with the pants and the wife beater. I feel like I look like that guy when I Carl, his name is. I feel like I look like that guy when I wear that outfit to go to sleep, but I really don't care. Nobody sees me dressed like that, but I wear what's comfortable, and the suits are very comfortable, and I probably would wear them to sleep, but I don't want to wrinkle them, so I could easily fall asleep in a suit. I'm telling you that right now. For instance, I'm actually very, very comfortable right here, right now. I'm wearing my dark gray and white pinstripe double-breasted suit, white dress shirt with cufflinks, matching cufflinks to a green tie. Could you have a pocket square also, but so anyway, I hope I cleared things up for you there. Pretty much wear the same outfit year-round. In the winter, there's heat, so it's not a problem with that. Hey there. Just became a subscriber about a week ago after stumbling your channel while hungry. Big pizza fan, but who isn't? You said it, my friend. Slightly disappointed there was no comment section, but I could definitely understand the reason. Love the style. And to get to the point of the message, I'm from Scotland in the UK, and I was hoping you could possibly try and do some reviews of pizzas that are readily available for me to purchase. Frozen pizza specifically, because it's hard to judge, fast food chains from country to country, because the quality is normally based off the store and employees. I have a link here for the UK site of Asda. If I pronounce that right. I believe they're owned by Walmart. So I was hoping you'll be able to find them near you. Goodfellas Stone Baked Thin, Chicago's Town Takeaway Pizza, Chicago Town Deep Dish, and Ristorante. Well, thanks for the link, and I'll definitely look for them at least. Definitely search for them. Keep an eye out for them. Try and find them. Just gotta check something. Hold on. Okay. So I'll definitely check that out. I'll definitely keep an eye out for it. I'll look around for it, and I'll try to accommodate you. I'm pretty sure at least like half of them, are readily available. Alright, another reception report, thank you. A VORW question. Would you rather go to a suit museum or on a tour of the Monster Energy Drink Factory? Oh boy. You always ask the tough questions, eh? Two of my favorite things right there. Now the question is it like a one-time deal? Like, you could only, like, this is the only day in forever, that each place is open for a tour, right? Because if it is, then that makes it a whole lot harder. If not, I'd go on one and, wait a bit and go to the other, but, oh boy. Well, suits, I mean, that'd be awesome to see, like, suits from every era, especially, it's like, if it's a guided tour, like a professional, I don't know, suit, analyst, right? And fashion experts and style analysts, giving their thoughts and leading the tour and what have you. I mean, that would be awesome to go on this museum tour and see all the different styles and learn about them. I mean, that would be awesome for me, okay? Or the Monster Energy Drink Factory to get to see how that's made. Oh my goodness. Oof, I don't know. Because both would be really, really, really cool. One would be to see my favorite drink produced, how it's made. Or two, to get a bunch of facts and, one-ups and my nice bonus cool information on my favorite clothing. Let's think about that. You have to go to one of them. I might go to the Monster Energy Drink one, because I've never seen how it's made. At least with suits, right? I know at least some facts about each era and, each type and style of suit. But I know nothing about, Monster Energy or how it's produced and what have you. So I think that'd be kind of cool to go on like a, a hard hat tour, per se, of the factory. Another reception report, thank you. Another reception report, thank you. Hello, Review Broth. Took the math test and it went horrible. Yeah, well. Can't win them all. However, a girl in my class notified me that our lowest test will be dropped from the class, so I rejoice. Thank you for answering my questions, Buttercup, and I was happy to see your last two VORWs were lengthy. Currently, I'm playing Counter-Strike Global and listening to VORW 6.1. How's your day, bruh? How'd it go? You feeling good, man? Yeah. It was a little rough right before I recorded this. Just wasn't feeling good, but now I'm actually feeling good. I'm feeling better after I got behind the microphone and started talking. I don't have any questions. Just messaging you to tell you to never stop making these VORWs. Next time I message you, I promise, he promises, I'll have more questions, Daisy. Peace out. Good luck. Have fun. Good night. Good morning. Deja vu. Poopy, poopy, poopy. May your liver and kidneys prosper. P.S. Could you talk about zoos? Zoos. I don't think that's a topic I've ever discussed on these shows. I don't know how much of an expert on zoos I am, really, but I guess one day, if there's time, I could discuss zoos. P.S.S. I lied about not having questions for you. P.S.S.S. Could you talk about ramen noodles? Do you have a brand you like? A creative way to cook them? Not a big fan of the ramen. I've never had ramen that often. but I figure if I ever decide to buy a couple $1,000 suit and I'm gonna be broke, I'm gonna have to start going on the ramen noodle diet. So I guess I should know a little bit about the ramen, the staple of every college student's diet. PSSS. How do you feel about the current state with your channel? So far so good. I don't mind it. I like all the reviews. Or at least I like the things I'm reviewing. You get some bad stuff, but I enjoy making the reviews. That's what I meant. The reception of the videos is what it is, but I am very thankful to have at least a few people, who hang in there and, always check stuff out and give compliments when they're deserved and when criticism when that is needed. So I'm pretty much talking about you guys. So thank you for sticking in there. It's you guys that keep me going. But yeah, I'm happy with things where they are right now. But I really wanted to do is to pretty much do that listener survey in the last VORW show, just to get a perspective on how things are looking so far. So it was really great for everyone who answered that to share their valuable thoughts and opinions. Let's see, PSSS. How's the future looking? That's all I got. May your health prosper. Peace out, bro. How's the future looking? Well, hopefully alright. Hopefully not bleak. I would like to get a good job, in radio or something. And, maybe even buy airtime on one day on some of those big shortwave stations. But, there's still a chance I could just end up being some office drone, wasting away my life. No offense to any white-collar workers out there. It's just how I sometimes think of it. Just something I don't know if I do it. I wouldn't complain. But, I don't know if that's my life, right? Question fan mail. How do you feel about being completely alone? Okay. You spoke about finding the right person. And all. And how you are not interested in relationships and whatnot. But how can that be? As a male, you are designed to seek females. Some are worse than others, but every man at some point in their lives want to be loved and cared. Alright, well, I'll answer your question there. That's a topic that really comes around that much, so I gotta think now. I don't know, it's just not a part of my life. I don't think about it. I wake up in the morning and I fall asleep, and it's just something I never think about. So it doesn't have it has a non-existent role in my life. I guess in the past, now this is talking years and years ago, right? When I was younger and a little stupider, so that is a mixed statement, because that means I'm implying that I'm any smarter now than I was then, and I don't know. I for one disagree, but whatever. We'll leave that for another day. But back in the past, I suppose I learned, or at least that's when I decided, right? There's no point in this stuff. So why bother? But what I've realized, and this isn't, in any way, shape, or form, bashing, romance or this and that and the other thing. But I've just realized I can wake up at mid-afternoon and fall asleep at dawn, right? But of course, you know what I mean. Wake up, start my day, and conclude it without even, feeling, oh my god, I need a girlfriend, this and that and the other thing, right? Never once in at least the past 3 years have I thought like that. Never once. It's never happened. So it plays a non-existent role, in my life. Just a few general thoughts on the subject, since I seem a little bit intrigued. Actually, no, I already gave that in my last VORW, but I'll briefly mention it for you. If you're curious, I don't plan on, getting married or any of that. I mean, whatever happens, but, it's definitely not, high on my priorities. So a lot of people, for instance, on a bucket list, right, per se, things you want to do before you die. One of the most popular things is to get married, have kids, those two things are really high on the list. But for me, I mean, it's not even it's not a priority of mine. I believe, if I die single, I die single, so what? If I don't, I don't, but it's not a priority of mine. Anyway, this guy keeps writing here. I wish I had your thinking. I mean, by not dating anyone and not seeking a relationship, you are avoiding the worst feeling ever, which is heartbreak. It is worse than cutting yourself with a blade. And that goes into another point of mine. The statistics show us that in this year, 2014, it's an alarming percentage. Now, I don't have the paper in front of me. I've moved rooms. I'm in the other room now to record the remainder of this VORW, so I don't have a computer at my disposal. But it's a high percentage, right? I think when I last checked, and this was a while ago, because it's something I usually don't check that often, but it was at like 30 or 40-something% of all marriages in the United States end in divorce. And this could apply to both parties, male or female. Though, as a male, and of course this never happened to me, well, I can't speak for the future, but at least at this stage, I don't think it ever will. But, for both parties, after a divorce, right, you could either be feeling a great relief, or you could feel literally horrible. And I would only assume that if a breakup, just between, boyfriend and girlfriend is bad, right, I can't imagine how terrible a divorce, would feel. I mean, I really, really can't. And it would probably be an absolutely horrible feeling, and it's just something that I would never want to experience. And chances are, right, you think you find the perfect one, and 5 years later, it's over. So, it's the unfortunate nature. That's that. And then there's all sorts of problems associated with that. Who does what? There's always fights. What if this person's cheating on you? What if you suspect this person's cheating on you, but you have no proof? This, that, and the other thing. And it's just, listen, I'll be honest with you. I don't need any of that crap. All right. This is not high on my priorities, and I don't think it will be for a very long time to come. And dearest review, bro, like you, I have an unconventional sleep pattern. Fall asleep around 4 a.m., wake up about 2 to 3 p.m. How does this affect things? I manage. I adapt and overcome, pretty much. I mean, that's pretty much it. You adapt and overcome. You make plans for when you're awake, and if you can't, you hit the caffeine, or wake up early, or stay up late. So it's pretty easy. He also mentions how long it takes to change your sleep schedule entirely. It can be changed in less than 24 hours, no doubt about it. What do? Stay up as long as possible, binge on caffeine, stay up for about 24 hours, and at that point you're so tired you fall asleep at whatever point you want, or that you need to. You're out for about, 9-10 hours, you wake up at the time you need to, and boom, your sleep schedule is already fixed. So that's how I do it. It's completely drastic, I don't think it's healthy in the least, but when you need to change your sleep schedule immediately, that's how it's done, in 24 hours or less. Maybe 34. assuming you get a healthy 10-hour sleep. I also want to know my dream job. My dream job would be a job in radio. I've realized that's what I'd like to do. That would be one of the jobs where I could wake up every morning and realize, you know what? I love life, you know? I'm happy where I am. I enjoy what I do. Life is good. And that'd be one of the jobs where I could wake up every morning, enjoy to go to work, and I'd be truly happy. And I would call it a dream job for a reason. You know, will that actually ever be attained? I don't know. I really don't know. 10 years from now, assuming, the monster doesn't get to me, what'll I be doing? I can't say. It would be beautiful if I could look into a little crystal ball and see myself sitting there behind the microphone broadcasting to the world. I can't guarantee that'll happen. I could be the next reviewer on Food Network. I don't know that'll happen. There's a chance it might, a small chance. But I don't know that'll happen. I could be working in an office from 9 to 5. That could happen. I could be a truck driver for all I know. I don't know what the future holds for me. I could only dream, though, that, I would get a good job in radio, but, not all dreams can be achieved. Some can and some can't. I'm just worried that I'm going to make the stupid mistake and just dream about it and not actually work to achieve that dream. And, I'm just worried that's what I'm going to do. And then I'll be the only person that screwed things over for myself and no one else. Hey, review brah. Recently moved into my own apartment for the first time ever. So far, everything has been working out swimmingly. But the problem is with my food supplies. I have pounds and pounds of rice and beans, cheap frozen chicken, and frozen vegetables. To complement this, I have oatmeal and some pancake mix. As you can guess, this gets really, really boring. My question is this. What are the best cheap products you've reviewed? I don't need to be healthy, just tasty. Thanks, review bro. Some of the best cheap products that I've ever reviewed. Go to McDonald's. Go on the dollar menu. Just clean the entire place out. The dollar menu is your way to go. It is. So, that's my recommendation. Even if you aren't in America, just around the world, dollar menu and McDonald's is hopefully everywhere. I could hope it is. I know there's McDonald's everywhere. So, that's my recommendation. Also, there's some really good frozen pizzas out there from Freschetta and DiGiorno that really aren't too expensive at all. So I could recommend those. Pardon me for a minute, gonna blow my nose. Have some fall allergies. I think it's all that ragweed or something. Just not hitting that hard, just a little bit of a stuffy nose here and there. Sorry about that. Yeah, you could edit this out, I know, but I'm not going to. No need. I actually tried to exit the room and blow my nose out of respect. Out of respect to all of you. So, carrying on. Did you talk like a... And this is a different person. Did you talk like a pirate on Talk Like a Pirate Day this week? Can I hear your best pirate impression? I did not talk like a pirate on Talk Like a Pirate Day. Actually, I did once because I was too busy, doing what I do, sitting there on the computer. I don't know if I could really do a pirate impression. I've never been asked before. Should I do it or should I don't? I really don't think I can. Let's see. Should we do it? Should we or should we not? Let's clear out the throat. I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna happen. Yarr, matey. That's not. That was just a jokingly. The reason why I'm in another room here instead of on the computer is because I had to restart the computer and get a few updates in, and I just wasn't feeling like doing that. So, or I was sitting there and waiting. So I just printed out all the remaining questions. So I got a piece of paper right here that I'm just reading them off of as I sit here on this stool in this room, which you have no idea what it looks like. But I can assure you it's in my basement. This person also asks, at what age did you realize you could beat up your parents? It's an odd one. Honestly, nothing I could think about. And looking at how scrawny I am, if they could still probably take me and win in a fight, I'm not gonna lie. When did you become the man of the house? I'm not. I'm not. And I don't try to be either. I've realized my status, and I respect that, right? You know, the elders of the house, aka my parents, are the people in charge, and what they say goes. And I've learned to respect their decision and not complain about it. You know, so I'm not that kind of person. Perfectly fine with a subservient position. I don't know if that's a word, but you know what I'm getting at. For me, it was when I got my green belt in Taekwondo. My father still answers yellow. LOL. Good to know. I think the art featured in VORW 59 is very nice. I got liberty to disclose who the artist is. I'm not going to do that without the artist's permission. It was just a regular fan who sent in his drawing. I think he was just practicing, and decided to draw me or something like that. But, so I'm not at liberty to disclose that, without prior permission by the fan who drew it. I always try to keep privacy, well, private. But hopefully he's listening, or she, and, you know, here's this compliment from you, because it was a very good drawing, I will admit. Not to say that any of the other drawings I've received are, you know, aren't good. There has been absolutely beautiful drawings, and every drawing is absolutely great. And many more are appreciated. Keep that in mind and never forget it. Hey review bro, forgive the double message, but I'm watching VORW show 60 as I type this, and I just had to tell you. I loved hearing you tear into bronies and what they did to fedoras. I could hear the real conviction in your voice. I love hearing you talk about things you really care about, even if it's just you ranting. The strength of your feelings, your emotions, are amazing when you invoke them. I love to hear them more often. I actually didn't realize I was speaking with such conviction, as you said. Maybe that happened again when I was going off about that chicken earlier in the show. I do not know. I don't. 2 more messages left on the paper here. It's not magic paper, so we can't refresh it. So when we're done reading this, the show is done also. Dear Report of the Week, I try and keep this short. Wanted to get in a question before VORW, if possible. You made it. I have a long day ahead of me today, and I probably won't be able to get home to write more until after midnight, I assume. What I wonder is, since you started listening to shortwave stations from a relatively early age compared to most people, your worldview perspective is probably much greater than the average American. Is there anything you've learned about a country from their broadcasts that has surprised or disappointed you? Thank you for taking the time out of your day to read this. I hope your weekend is swell. Thank you for writing. So, you obviously know I listen to shortwave a lot, so I could easily answer this question off the bat. Yeah, my perspective of the world has, increased probably by 300% at least Even just in the past year, which I've been continually listening to shortwave each and every single day. Okay? So, with that being said, is there anything I've ever learned about a country from their broadcasts that surprised or disappointed me? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, there's like a few types of different, shortwave broadcasts. I mean, you'd be surprised. In 2014, in the information age, right? And that's what they call it, the information age. Instant gratification everywhere. You get cell phones, tablets, all that crap. Or smartphones, right? A regular cell phone, I'm perfectly fine with it. Smartphones that I can't say I really care for. I don't have any of that technology. I just use a computer, and that's all I need, right? But in especially first world countries, there's really no need for shortwave radio. But around the world, I mean, you'd be surprised at how many listeners there still are in this world. They said there's as many as almost 200 million people listening to shortwave around the world at any given time. And that's a crazy statistic right there. I mean, 200 million. I mean, that's massive, That's more than any of the biggest YouTubers in the world ever get, in one day. But anyway, what I was saying is that there's different types of shortwave broadcasts out there. You have stations that are only news, alright? They're just like, the big news networks here in the U.S. and around the world. They just broadcast news stories and some in-depth for about an hour or two, and that's it. Some of those broadcast stations are Deutsche Welle. That's the international broadcaster of Germany. They broadcast specifically to Africa from Kigali, Rwanda. Don't know why I remember that transmitter site name, but I do. And you could hear their station very clear in the U.S. I guess they broadcast just straight across Africa, and signal reaches the coast of the U.S. So I sometimes hear Deutsche Welle and listen to their station, and it's only news for them. They just read the headlines and news stories, and sometimes interviews. Likewise, the BBC World Service is also the same way, as is the Voice of America. They're all news, right? Just to help keep, the people who really have no other way of, attaining news information, to keep them up to date with current events. And also, that's how I sometimes like to get my news, because they really cover news stories really well. Professional reporting. Then there's stations like Radio Romania International, Radio Kuwait, for instance, as well. China Radio International, those are three big ones, where they, too, broadcast news, stories, and music, but then they also broadcast cultural programs, which, in every broadcast, give you a different, little tidbit of information about their country and their culture. So, absolutely, nearly every day I learn probably at least, 5 or 10 new things about various countries and places around the world. Especially Radio Romania International. I mean, they tell you things about this little, Baltic country, nobody knows too much about. They just think, oh yeah, it's one of those, Eastern European satellite states that became independent after, the Cold War. They don't think anything of it. But after listening to their shortwave broadcasts, I've really been able to hear a lot of information about Romanian culture, Romanian food, Romanian music, all sorts of stuff about the country. Played some very nice actual classical symphonies from Romanian composers. One thing I didn't know about Romania is that they had such grand composers of the classical era. It just goes on and on, Radio Kuwait, they were talking about, they had this one program a little while ago called Our Arab Gold. Of course, that talks about oil and, how it's changed their country and what have you, and that was always interesting. China Radio International has all these shows about China, mainland China, and what have you. So it's interesting, and yes, so the answer to that is, many things that have surprised me. Of course, there are things that have disappointed me as well, but, you can't win them all. How many minutes we've recorded this segment? 26 minutes. Broadcast is definitely going to go over an hour. Deal with it. I don't think anyone's going to complain there. I really don't. Finally, a call to trial. Justice by combat. Are you superstitious at all? Do you avoid black cats, certain numbers, walking under ladders, etc.? No, I'm not superstitious at all. A black cat is just that. It's a cat with a black pelt. If you walk under a ladder, you're probably an idiot in case you accidentally disrupt it and knock the poor person that might be on it off. Numbers are just numbers. Certain amounts of things. So no, I'm not superstitious. You know, if you break a mirror, you give yourself a lot of glass to clean up. It's just the facts. Have you ever had a verruca, aka plantar wart? No, I have not, thankfully. It doesn't sound too nice, though. So maybe I should be glad I've never had one of those. What is the greatest length of time you've spent awake at a stretch? Let's see. Well, recently, let's change our seating here. We're going to sit on a blue exercise ball for the remainder of this show. You can't really see it, but it's there. I'm bouncing it right now. Now we're going to sit down on it, changing my seating. For the remainder of the show, I'm just feeling like sitting down on this thing. Well, greatest length of time I've spent awake? Let's see. Well, recently, I can give you that, was when I came home from Hawaii. I was up for a solid, let's think, almost 48 hours. No, more like 36 hours. Yeah, roughly 36 hours I was awake for, and that was in July of 2014. But I think the greatest... Now, and that was with the aid of caffeine, mind you, okay? The greatest length of time I've ever stayed up without caffeine, and that makes it tough, was back in 2010. Or was it 09? No, it was early 2010, okay? So this is before I was even online, right, on the internet. This is part of my mysterious life. But it was 2010. It was a Thursday night. So I woke up at 7 a.m. Wednesday. Or no. Sorry. Woke up 7 a.m. Thursday. Normally I'd fall asleep at like 10 p.m., right? But I couldn't fall asleep. Laid there for an hour, but I couldn't fall asleep. So I was up the whole night. No caffeine, mind you. I wasn't on caffeine at the time. No caffeine. Up at least until 7 a.m. Friday. Up until 7 p.m. Friday. I didn't fall asleep again until probably around 1 a.m. on Friday. So let's calculate that. 36... 7 to 8, 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 11, 12, 12. So that was being... So almost 42 hours. We'll say 42 hours. The greatest length of time I was ever awake, and this was without caffeine. Without any caffeine, any stimulant, anything to keep me up. About 42 hours. No caffeine, nothing. Just all natural, just on the will to stay awake, 42 hours. When you were a kid, did you like Play-Doh? I'm sure I played with it from time to time. I remember, though, with the little Play-Doh things, you could, like, make food or something out of it. I always thought you could eat it, but, of course, I'm sure it tastes absolutely terrible. What toys did you like? I was always a big fan of toy soldiers, alright? Now, I've cleared most of them out, but I think in the basement here I might still have a box of some old ones. I mean, I was a big fan of toy soldiers. I mean, those are my favorite things of all. I must have had over probably 1,000, toy soldiers. I always set them up all over the floor and have these massive, intricate little battles between, the two armies. I would set up, say all the soldiers made of the blue plastic against all the soldiers made out of the red plastic, or, you know, a lot of the time, I would sometimes have these really big battles with the toy soldiers, and I'd have all the little, you know, plastic tanks and the plastic army man and all the aircraft and what have you going in there. I mean, I used to do that every single day when I was a little guy. I mean, that was awesome to do that. Some days I remember I'd get like these massive battles where I'd make the enemy all the, I think it was all the yellow, tan, and white toy soldiers, and everyone else would be the friendly, right, the allied army, and there would be this big battle right on the carpet. Two sides would clash and go together, and I don't know. I had a lot of fun when I used to do that. And then I moved on to Legos, and now I've moved on to shortwave radio. I still have boxes of both, so if I ever just don't care and just want to do it one night, I could get down here, drag a crate of old plastic army men up and do that. But if anyone awoke and came down and saw me doing that, they might admit me to a psychiatric center. What do you think about homeschooling? It's a choice of the parents. If they feel it's necessary, well, they could go for it. What do you like writing with? Pencils, biros, fountain pens, or something else? Right now, my current writing implements are a pack of Papermate gel pens. That's what I use. I don't know, I always like the fine tip, and it always makes it look, I don't know, a little neater than usual. So I use Papermate gel pens, followed by a backup, which is usually just a regular traditional ballpoint pen. I guess those might be ballpoint also, I don't know. Don't really know the anatomy of pens too much. Haven't done too many dissections. That was a joke. Do you have a filing system to manage your finances and so on? Are you organized? Yeah, I'm pretty organized. I have a filing cabinet. I keep everything in folders and what have you. Do you hold a passport? Yeah, but I really haven't done any, international traveling. Does your household employ any cleaners, gardeners, or any domestic staff? No. None is needed. And do you have any crowns on your teeth, or just, is it fillings? Just fillings. And I'm going back to the dentist next week. I think what time? When was it? It's either next Wednesday or next Thursday. Next week. I set the appointment for 2 p.m. So, I mean, I'm going to have to wake up about an hour early. I don't know how I'm going to feel about that. But they said, oh, listen, you could either go in at 2 p.m. or you could go in at 8 a.m. So, I chose 2 p.m. So, that'll be that. We'll go in. Got to get the big crevice in the back filled up. And hopefully things will be better. This big tooth in the back of my mouth. It's a molar. I'd call it the canyons of hell. This big crevice right between the two teeth. I said I gotta fill that in, so I'm gonna have a lot of fun there. So, can only hope there's a good doctor there, and we'll hope for the best. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hope you're well. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. And remember, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, considerations, or just want to talk, send me a message via YouTube, and I'll read and respond to it at the beginning of each and every VORW show. Thank you very much for listening, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll see you later. Take care.